Alright, you missed all the fun, the cleaning. Alright, we got the everything all cleaned up, obviously. Okay, there's the finish now. We'll be running for the rods. And we know they're straight and round and all that because we measured it. And now we got a nice smooth surface for break-in, so we don't have to worry about it being rough as a cob. And there's what our crank pin finish is too. See, it kind of matches the rod now. They're next to each other, they're very similar now. And obviously rollers are really smooth. So now everything's nice and smooth like it should be. Alright, I blew this thing all out, cleaned everything all up. I blew the crap out of the end of the shaft there, so we don't have any more junk in it. So you blow it backwards, you blow it through the two holes here and blow it out that end. And clean that side up too. So everything's nice and clean. Got the rollers all cleaned up, these ones are clean. So now we're ready for assembly. And then truly. Oh boy. Alright. These are assembly lube. That would be that brand. If you can't remember what I use, it's Torco. Don't worry about using too much. Just keep it off the taper. The taper has to have Loctite on it. That does matter. Okay. Take our rod cages, stack them up like that. I'll clean my workbench off again too. Make sure everything's nice and clean. You make a mess, clean it, and then when we're ready for assembly, clean it again. Actually, clean it 3 times. Keep putting rags across it to make sure there's nothing gets on it. So I can drop my rollers, I don't have to worry about them getting dirty. Because you are going to drop them. When you drop them on the floor, they get really dirty. Then you have to clean them. Assembly lube will help hold the rollers in there so they stay put like that. Okay, so we got 3 of these are already out. That'd be the 3 we measured. A handful more. Whoa! One's trying to get away. Gotta watch out for that one that keeps trying to run away. I like the old steel cages the most because they hold 18 rollers per cage, and they're taller. Longer bearings mean more bearing area. More of them means more bearing area. The new steel cages, the Evo style cage, the one everybody uses because they're cheap, those only have 17 rollers. One long one and one short one. So the female rods are long roller. The center rod, male rod, is like this, short roller. So they have less bearings than anything. That's why I don't like them. Plus they're a pain in the ass to load. You have to load them from the inside and then put a sleeve in there to keep the bearings in there, and then slip it over the crank pin. Pain in the ass. The early steel cage are the best. Just pop them on the cage, they can't come out. They only come out one way, the way you put them in. These ones here, they can come in or out. Just to go straight through. Which makes them easy for loading this way. The late ones, they only load from the inside out, so can't load them this way. Okay, 2 more to go. I'm still having a problem getting good bearings. Even bad bearings are hard to come by right now. I try to use Sonic's bearings, which are the good ones, but very, very hard to come by. Sonic's went under a few years ago, got bought out, but they're not making all the same stuff they used to. Prefer not using the import rollers if I can avoid it. Like I said, even those are hard to get. Nobody wants to stock more than 2 sizes instead of 6 sizes like we used to have. Nice coat of oil on here so that your bike can run for a few miles without damage. I've seen up to 100 miles put on a bike with no oil pump working. But 5 and 10 is common. You'd be surprised. Wonder why the bike's running hot. It'd make a noise maybe? Yeah, that's supposed to do that, yeah. Sure. So Ultimate's putting these big massive grooves in here to let the oil out. It doesn't let oil in, it lets it out. Not sure why they're doing that. S&S used to use little thin grooves. These guys are using big thick grooves. So have to one up each other, I guess. Okay, so this is a right side wheel. So this means the rod set goes on this direction. Slips right on where it's supposed to. Oil over here. Alright, everything's pre-lubed. Got cylinder back up down there. An oil leak. It's already got an oil leak. That means I got enough on there. Okay, get the oil off my finger would help. Okay, sleeve retainer in red. So sleeve retainer is for the taper, not the rod bearings though. Do not put this in your rod bearings. So we just put a little bit on my finger. Put it on the inside of the taper, not the side that goes into the rod set. Wipe off the excess on the threads there. So only the first half of the taper is lubricated with Loctite. Red. So you put 2 spots on the threads. Okay. Oil leaking off. Make sure you got the rods in correctly. Stick that in there, let it rotate slightly, that seals it. Turn it 9 degrees on the table, how to kind of hold it halfway flat. Wipe off the workbench where the oil was. Flat. Check to make sure it stayed at 90 and then change on you. If the scale's pretty flat, that means you're pretty close. We are, so good. Okay, we're going to do the rest of the torquing on the machine, which will hold it halfway square. At least that's what we're trying to do. Alright, make my hand sore again. Always get a lot of work out in my hands here. Okay. Alright, torque wrench here. Okay, just out of the way so I got room to work. Okay, I got some pressure on that. It's being held square in the V of the press. Okay, torque wrench. Torque the snot out of it. At least until the nut rounds off, whichever comes first. Okay, 400 right there. Some pressure, more pressure. We're just hitting 400, I think. Where are we at? 400's way over there. There's 400. Yeah, everything's slimy. This rag's too full of honing oil to clean my hands anymore. Time for a new rag. I was hoping to get through the flowers before I went to my new rag. Tools are too slimy, you gotta clean them. Alright. So we got a good torque on everything. So we got 400 foot-pounds on there. We're supposed to have 180 to 200, give or take a little. Okay, let's set this up so you can kind of see where I'm at. Maybe. Yeah, close enough. Crank. I already previously lubed the tapers here. Yeah, didn't go far enough. Gonna move this over about a 1/4 inch more. Since I fixed my tool, I don't have as much travel as I used to. Have to get used to new numbers. Now. Okay, you want these needles to be equal. See him from that angle. Move down a little further, you might be able to see better. Get the camera where it doesn't lose anything. This camera doesn't like me. Too much crap on the floor. I don't think you can see the far pointer over there. No. About that direction. Yeah, you have to live with that. I've done this lots of times before, so watch different videos. Okay, so the needle's relatively evenly, which means we don't have a twist in the crank. This side's a lot worse than this, which is bad because that side's hard to move. Okay, let's see what we got. We're high right there. And that's bad too because it's bad in a different spot. Okay. Let's see how tightly this thing's put together. I think we're going to have to go right back in the press and knock it down. It's going to be hard to true it up like this. Trying to figure out where I can do it. Try hit like this, see what happens. See if it'll move. If that don't work, I'm going to have to put it in the press. Ah, it's gooey. Twisted it over. Figured that would happen. Okay, so that one's still high there. That one's still high at 90 degrees to it. Do it again. Should it progressively harder until it moves. Moved yet. Hit it again. It's going to move at some point. Oh, it moved. This side quit moving. That's a good sign. This one's still moving though. Multiple high spots out around the shaft. This one's still high right here. A love tap right there to motivate it. Wants more motivation than that. Do it again. That motivated it. Still needs more though. High in the same spot. Problem is this one's high on the other spot. Okay, so they need to go opposite directions. Okay, so we need to go, this one is high right there. So this needs to be bent down. And this one needs to be the opposite. Where are we at here? Still off center a little bit. High. So that's high right there. So this one needs to be down with the crank pin right behind me. This one here is high here. It needs to be bent straight down. Okay, remember that? We'll go over to the press over here and give it some love tapping over here. Come on, camera, move. Alright. Right side first. It needs to go down. You hold the flywheel down, you give it a couple of taps. Okay, this one here was on the other side, it was over here. Basic about right upside, almost straight up. That one needs to go down. Hold on to that one very well. Put a piece of plate in between. Okay. This needs to go down pretty good. It's a couple of hits. 1, 2. Back to the press. Or the chewing stamp, excuse me. Okay. Tiring. You're making me work too hard. This damn thing won't move. Okay. Let's do it all again. Let's see what we got. Left side's good. Right side is still about a line out. Not good. Didn't really move any. Didn't hit it hard enough, I guess. Okay, let's try this here. Wedge that. Hit that. Left side still good. Right side wants more hitting. Still ain't happy. Left side's good. Haven't got his attention yet. Attention to my hand, I'll hold that punch. It's half a line now. It's getting better, but same spot. Left side still good. Rag on that thing. That's a good solid hit. Same problem. Left side still good. Harder. It ain't moving, hit it harder. It's either gonna move or it's gonna break. One or the other. Doesn't matter which. Can't use it when it's not good anyway. Still didn't move. Okay, we're high kind of over here. This one's high over here. Let's try a little bit of. Try doing something else for a little bit. Get back to it. It usually goes in a circle anyway. What you're doing. Okay, I got that dead straight again over there, and it made this side worse. What a shocker. Went back to where it was memory-wise. We haven't lost its memory yet. Same spot, dead center. Okay, more press work. Which way are we going? Still down. Oh, that's it, drop it. It ain't heavy, is it? Alright. Okay, give A little bit of a love tap over there again. We're going to give it a 2-hitter. 1, 2. Not real heavy, but enough. Maybe. We'll find out. Hopefully I overbent it and it'll come back to where it wants to be. It's always best to go overbend it and then come back a little bit. Get some new memory going. Otherwise it can go back to where you don't want it to be. That'd be a bad thing. Okay. Okay, still got a bad spot in there. Okay, it did change. It's over here now. 90 degrees to where it was. We knocked the other side out though, which is bad. Now on the bottom is the high spot, and this one was over here, I think. It's on this side. Right over here. This one's right on the bottom. This one's just past the bottom. A little light hit, nothing serious. See where it wants to be. Okay. Back to where it was before, I think. Left side's happy. Still half a line out. Probably the same spot it was, I bet. Yep. Right back where we started. Doesn't want to get any better. Okay. Gotta quit screwing around with it. Hit it harder. Spring back nails you good. Yeah, that got its attention a little bit. There we go. That took half of it out. Induced a little bit on the other side though. Okay, where are we at now? Same spot. Opposite spot. Okay. We'll leave it there. Down to a 1/4 of a line. I can live with that. It's not as good as not moving, but they're opposite of each other, so that means this is high here and this one is high on the bottom. Okay, so let's get this thing spinning. See where the needle is right there. See right there is the high spot. Comes around right there. It's right where the crank pin comes around. Right there, see? Now this side here, it's got the same fluctuation in it. Except it's high over here, which is crank pins away from it, see? Now this one jiggles a little bit. It's not perfectly round. Worst spot's right there, which is 90 degrees. 180 from the crank pin, which is like I said the opposite we are on this other side. So the only way you can get that out, there's actually 2 ways of getting it out. One is you twist and you make the crank pin do that. That's hard to do. The other thing is you can bend the one flywheel one way and then bend these in or out, the actual 2 halves. And it'll mimic what you're trying to do. Both of them are hard to do. Flywheels are tight, they're hard to adjust. So anyway, we're going to leave it with this spot here. So this side's more important than this side. Before this wasn't really moving, this was. Now we got half and went over. We just transferred that half over this half, so they're both equal, but 180 out. So I can live with that. Alright, so that part's done. Time to move on to stage 2. Work on the cases.